Hello, my name is Bill. Today I'm going to show you how to dress up some leftover turkey and make your family smile about leftovers. I must have had this for dinner at my friend's house after Christmas when I was in high school. I found the picture from the Christmas dinner. Her mom inspired me to try such dishes as moussaka and ratatouille. In the years to follow, I would obsess with finding recipes that I liked. So for my early beginnings, I would like to show you my turkey Tetrazzini recipe. I've got the oven preheated to 350. Let's get started. I cooked some pasta, this pound of pasta here, and I put some olive oil on it and let it cool. And now I've got it in my baking dish, so it'll be ready in the end when we pour everything on it. Now I want to show you how we're going to mince some garlic. I need 2 cloves of garlic. Peeling it's usually the hardest part. And of course it all sticks to your finger anyway. So what we do to mince garlic, basically take the flat of your blade, and the heel of your hand, and we're just going to press until it looks like it's been run over by a car. Okay. And we're just going to start fresh garlic is so much better. I love mincing fresh garlic because it's so much more flavorful. Obviously, if you really have to, you can use jarred, but I've used it myself, but I really try to use fresh stuff. I just think it makes for better results. And it blends in better too. I want to keep cleaning off your blade so all the big pieces are now down your cutting board. And it's a little tedious, but as you can see, before long, it's pretty much there. So the key to this is you want to keep the toe of the blade on the cutting board, and I'm just rocking the blade up and down. That's what mincing and chopping is really all about. Okay, we'll call that good. So I have 2 tablespoons of butter here. Let it start to melt. I'm going to add my garlic. Just going to mix this around. So really, you're just trying to make the garlic fragrant. You're not really cooking it. I can start to smell it already. Oh yes, definitely. So now that the butter's all melted and I can completely smell the garlic, I'm going to throw in a pound of sliced mushrooms. I just got these pre-sliced from the grocery store. They'll do absolutely fine. You know, mushrooms, it looks like so much, and then by the time they're done cooking, it's like all cooked down. You know, you shouldn't ever wash mushrooms. You can wipe them with a dry paper towel. I actually have a little mushroom brush if you really want, so you can scrape them, like especially if you're doing like big mushrooms, like stuffing calves and things. So I just want to get this started. Make sure it's nice and hot. You keep the pan fairly warm because you need to cook out the liquid from the mushrooms. Mushrooms are just like sponges full of water. Start to see some color. So what I'm going to do, I've got half a cup of white wine. This is a Pinot Grigio. You can use any kind of wine, but make sure it's a wine that you would actually drink. You know, we used to use like cooking wines and stuff, and that's no good. That's just like the stuff, the leftovers. But any kind of wine, any white wine that you'd be willing to drink. It's also going to help cook the mushrooms. It's going to take about 5 minutes for that to cook down. So I'm going to come over here while that's cooking down. I've got my pot here that I'm going to cook everything else in. Got myself two ounces of butter. This is actually 4 ounces of butter, I'm sorry. And I have 4 ounces of flour that I'm going to mix in. So once again, we're just making a basic roux. A lot of the meals start this way. The trick to making a good roux is you just want equal parts by weight. I always say that in all my recipes, it's the holy grail. Equal weight of the flour and butter. And you can use salt or unsalted butter, it really doesn't matter. And the flour really doesn't matter either. Just want to make sure that once we get the flour in here, we're going to cook it long enough to get the raw flour taste out of it. My mom always used to save peanut butter jars to shake her flour mixture in to make like gravy and roux. And I kind of laugh about that now. Okay. So like I said, this is all well incorporated now. Now what we're going to do is I've got 2½ cups of chicken stock. And I just want to keep adding this in here to mix it all up. So I'll turn it on just a little bit. Just need to maintain heat in here. If it starts to get cold, we're just going to stop and put this down and let it come back up to temperature. Just want to get everything well incorporated. I can see my mushrooms are getting there. Timing's impeccable. Hopefully we'll get this all together at the same time. color to it. It's kind of like a paste right now. I'll show it to you, but I really can't take it off the heat. But I'll show you what it looks like. I used to be afraid of mixing flour in anything because it would just get lumpy. I just think it's taking care and going slow. And of course you want to cook it long enough to make sure it doesn't taste like flour. It'd be like sticking to eating a spoonful of flour. Mushrooms are just about there. I just use a flat spatula, wooden spatula to do this because I can get in all the corners. If I'm using a whisk, then I just make sure the bowl has a curve to the bottom so I can get it all taken care of. Yeah. There. I'm loving the smell of that garlic and wine over there. Once again, I'm really just trying to show that it just takes a little patience. It's not difficult. You know, most of my recipes I'm really trying to do shortcuts. How to make it, how to make it a better dish, how to make a good dish taste better. You learn from your mistakes. Doesn't come out perfect this time, it will next time. Okay. Now I got the last stock in here. That heated. You can. I wish you could smell the mushrooms. The garlic and mushrooms are great. In fact, I got this all incorporated. What I'm going to do is I want to check my pan over here to make sure the mushrooms are doing okay. I want this to stay nice and hot. I want to get it back to a working temperature for the last steps. Spatula. So the mushrooms are really starting to shrink down like they do. In a minute they'll be fine. By then we'll have this all ready to get together. Okay. On this pot, now what I'm going to do is I've got a cup of half and half. You can use heavy cream if you want. I just want to use milk. Milk just, it's going to be especially like 2%. It's just not going to make it. Once again, the trick is we want to maintain all the heat we can in the pan. Keep the edges and all the corners all mixed together. Once you get the roux to this point, it'd be really hard to screw up. I mean, you might burn a little on the bottom, might stick, but just don't scrape that out. You get a really strong right arm from doing this. Alright. I'm going to call the mushrooms done. So I'm just going to leave that there. 1 second. I just want to make sure we maintain all the consistency in this roux. It's probably about, it's gravy thickness right now. All right. Just a hair. So now we're going to start putting it all together. I'm going to give my mushrooms just a little more time, so in the meantime, I've got about 3 cups of cut up turkey. I got a cup of frozen peas that I thawed. I like peas. A little garlic, a little ground pepper in here. I'm going to turn this off. Wow, it's getting a little crazy over there. And what I want to do, the handle's hot. What I want to do is mix this in now. Just be nice and slow. It is hot. Okay, let me set this over here. So we're going to mix all the mushroom mixture in, mushroom and the garlic. Everything nice and toasty. So last but not least, I got a cup of cheddar cheese. I'm using white, so it doesn't really change the color of my white sauce. If you don't have any, you just want to use yellow, that's fine. And I got teaspoon of dried oregano. And voila. Just want to stir it till the cheese is melted. I just turn that off. So I'm going to take my pan that had the pasta in it, set it right here. Now I'm just going to dump everything out of this pan into there. Just know it's nice and hot. Steaming up my glasses. I'm just going to mix this around. You can tell this is a fresh roasted turkey. It adds a lot more flavor to it. Okay, it's looking pretty darn good. I mean, for this pasta, you can use spaghetti, you can use anything you want. I just thought it'd be fun to do something different. The only thing I do recommend you don't do is use pasta that has airspace, like penne or rigatoni, because you'll lose all the sauce inside the pasta. And then you won't have enough for your baking dish. Okay, I think that looks very good. So last but not least, I'm going to top it with a little Parmesan Reggiano cheese. Just a little sharpness, adds a little flavor. It's all set. It's going to go in a 350 oven for 25 minutes. Let's see what it looks like when it comes up. This is how it should look. Brown on top, the cheese is all melted. It smells great, looks wonderful. I'm ready to eat some actually. So you have something here. It's a great way to use the leftover turkey. It gets a lot of flavor from the turkey that you roasted with all the seasonings in it. And it's a simple dish that everyone will enjoy. You can use any kind of pasta you want. I just think this is a lot of fun. The other thing is, if you have leftovers, love these aluminum containers that come with a lid you get them at the grocery store. You can put leftovers in here, put the lid on, throw it in the freezer. Only thing is, if it is frozen, I suggest taking it out of the freezer the night before. It has time to thaw. Before you throw it in a 350 oven for about 20 minutes, I always pour a little half and half on so it doesn't dry out too much. It won't take much, probably a quarter cup. Of course, I would enjoy this with a nice Pinot Noir, and it is going to be just awesome. Enjoy it. Please like, comment, and hit the subscribe button. Thank you.